I love Minion for breakfast. That was a gag, and it never happened because the camera broke down. So that was my going hey fat choy, which means great prosperity and goodwill for the new year, right? Because it's Chinese New Year today. Some people ask me, how do I get my mustache to sit up? I use Acrid Hair. Acrid Hair is a mustache's friend. Yes, if you want my old mustache to stay curly and not fall down, then glue the little sucker. Yeah, it's true. Because it washes out water, so it's not offensive. So just the tips. So just do the tips with Acrid Hair, and they say. Okay, welcome back. Now, what we all want to see is the QE2. So this is going out live to my patrons and my YouTube members. So say hello, guys, if you're watching, so I know that you can see and hear me. But we're now going to unbox this, which is a fabulous gift from James over in Canada. Thank you, James. I think he's watching right now. And James didn't realise, I think. Well, I'm sure he didn't. Well, otherwise, he's a very generous guy. These now sell for something like 30 shekels, which would be $220 US. That's what they're selling for. I mean, this originally, up with a sticker on the side of it, this originally sold $17.99, and that probably would be Canadian, I suppose, which is not much different to Australian dollars. So a couple of shekels, right? $15 US. That's what this was probably bought for. And you don't, and that's what they were. They weren't expensive kits in their day. So he thought, oh, I'll just send that to Harry. You'll love it. I could flip this around tomorrow and probably make $200, but I'm not going to. Not going to. What we do is we're going to open it up. Okay, everyone can hear me. That is good because this is live for patrons. If you want to watch my live shows, you'll need to join Patreon or YouTube members for as little as, I think it's $1 US a month. I don't know. I think they kind of changed it and messed it up. It used to just be $1 Australian, but they've changed it all. YouTube's changed everything. You'll notice this video is very squeaky clean because we cannot say fork and we cannot say ship. All right, so this is a lovely old kit, lovely old Airfix instructions. And look, this is what I find charming. You get this exploded diagram, right? Now, the best part about this is everything's clear. You can see it all, okay? But what I love is here, it'll actually tell you what everything is, where it goes, what to do, the rest of it. And this is invaluable. I mean, the new instructions are all just basically icons and pictographs, right? And, you know, CAD printouts and everything. And there's no text because they can sell to an international market. You know, they don't have to worry about that. You know, the Italian, the German, whatever. They just look at the picture und sie verbuild the picture. It's pretty easy, right? And if you're watching, Tug mugs are available from the store. We're allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say Tug now? I don't think we are. I don't think we're allowed to say that. So, I love that there's all this in here. And, you know, cement part 10, stubborn, and sports deck, and everything. You got to know what everything was. And it's terrific. Everything's labelled and numbered. And I miss that. So I will really enjoy these instructions. For the Sunderland, if you saw that Sunderland video, I have the instructions now, the old one with exploded diagram, which David Eves, I believe, got because he managed to pick up a white box, an original white box red stripe. Now, this is an original white box, this kit. So this is actually harking back to the very beginning of the 70s. So late 60s, early 70s is the best time for Airfix. The moulds are brand new and crisp. The plastic, as we're about to see, James did a wonderful job of wrapping this up. Look at this. You know, I can de-stress with this. Was it good for you? Yeah. The detail is fine. That's the thing. People complain about trench lines and everything. Airfix ships are always fantastic. Look at that. Look at all the portholes. I mean, I draw all those out. 1/600 is a great size for something this big. It's probably about 600. I think it's about 2 foot, right? And 2 foot, that's kind of my rule anyway. It's 2 rules. Yeah, 2 rules is 6 foot. But 6 foot is a good 6 foot. 2 foot. It's Sunday morning at 6 a.m. I've only had one coffee. Come on. Get off my case. All right, so the detail is there. I love it. Really detailed. Okay. And look, even here. Are you seeing any flash? There's tiniest bit. But really, you just build it out of the box. That's how Airfix was. You could build them out of the box. Not a problem at all. And, you know, there'd just be a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of tidying. Bit of gunk on this, mate. What have you been doing? I really wonder where you've been poking this. It's got brown stuff on it, mate. Well, it is a ship. Now, the bag contains everything else, and I bagged this up because usually when you get one of these kits, everything is loose inside, and and I've also found all the parts at suicide and I put them there. But let's pull the baggie open. Nothing controversial about that. No. So let me just see what you get for your shovels. So you get some flags. That's kind of nice. They're paper flags, so they'll work out well. So you can have a lot of fun. Fun with flags. Oh, we've got a comment here from James. How old do you think it is? Yeah, of course, it's over 50 years old. No, I mean, of course it's going to be gunked up a bit. Decals? Probably not. Probably won't be using those. They're a bit lellow, but you never know. I've put them out in our Aussie sun, which has got lots of UV, and the UV can bleach these. I did that with an old Matchbox kit, probably about the same age as this, right? The old Matchbox Fury. And I put those decals outside right in the sunlight, left them there for 4 hours, pulled them in. They were scorched white, absolutely. A bit of wombat poo on them, but you can wipe that off. And now look, this is what you used to get with Airfix. You used to get this little thing, right? And if you look through your kit and went, part's missing, right? You write down the part number, right? And you write down your name and everything and all about your kit and what the problem was. Now, if anything was wrong with the kit, you would do this, right? So add a little computer punch out in too. And then you would put this in a self-addressed envelope, right? And then you'd fold that envelope up and put it in another envelope and you would post it off to Airfix, right? And your envelope had a little stamp on, Australian stamp, to send it back. And then lo and behold, a few weeks later, you get a little letter in the mail from Airfix, which was your letter that your envelope, and the part would be in there, and they would charge you nothing as long as you sent a self-addressed stamped envelope. And that was lovely. That's what Airfix always did. Now you ring them up, and they kind of will do the same thing. When I had a part missing on it was a Junkers, the 1/24 scale Stuka, right? I had that. Becca's got it now, but that kit is fantastic. But all it was missing was the clear sprue. Didn't have a clear sprue. And I mean, that's over 50 years old. I rang up Airfix. You have to ring their warehouse in Blighty. And I said, blah, blah, I've got this kit. I know it's really old. It's missing the sprue. No problem. Let me look. Yes, we've got one. We'll send that to you. What's your address? All you got to do is pay postage. Now, back in the old days, postage was a stamp, right? So, it was like about 10 cents. Postage was £20. £20 was postage. That was $40 Australian. So, So there is your bow, right? That's your front deck. And all the chains are moulded in. It's beautiful, okay? It's pretty smooth because these ships, I don't think they had wooden decks. I think you'll find it's all metal, okay? It's from that period, metal. And there's no rivets. No, because they were basically welding them together. So rivet counters, you can go and jump because there's nothing to count. That's a deck. Not much to see there. It's a deck. We'll do a dry fit. This is... I've cut these out already and cleaned them up. There wasn't much to clean up. So... the stairs are a little bit wobbly. You could cut those out and put photo if you wanted to, but who cares? This is all part of the decking, and we'll build that up in a sec. Haven't cut this one off. That's one of the upper decks. That's a little, probably bridge area thing like there. This is what Airfix always gave you. Every kit had these. They're pretty universal. Little Airfix stands, and they're kind of cute. I might, for nostalgia's sake, build this with the stands, and I'm probably going to build this later this year. If I can stick to my target, which so far I haven't, but if I can stick to my target that I did in my poll video, go back and watch my poll video, and I've got that buffer month, then maybe I might just build this because it's a lovely, sweet little kit. But I had to make a list of what I'm going to build because there's so much on my bench. Yep, this is basically a bulwark, or this is just a side actually. This is like the cabin side. And clean. Look, there's straight out of the kit. There's no flash. It's clean, absolutely clean. I mean, you might just want to tidy some things up, but really, you could put that in and you are good to go. This is a wooden deck because you can see. I don't know if you can see it. There are planks, and look at them. 1/600 planks are very, very fine, very fine. I've got some very, very tiny thin wood strips now for doing stuff on very small ships, but. Yeah, maybe not this scale. I mean, I'm talking small 1/200 or, or that sort of scale. Or maybe 1/350, but not 1/600. Can't do innuendos anymore in videos. No, YouTube's cracking down on my innuendo, so I can't stick anything in innuendo. Now, boats, yep. They're the basic Airfix boats. I mean, oh look, flash. Oh no, that's it. Throw the kit away. It's useless. Yeah, I cracked that joke with the Tamiya kit. I actually found flash on the Tamiya kit, and the Tamiya files did not appreciate it. They're all like the boats, just one thing. So, you know, if you want your boats to look good, you kind of need to scratch some stuff on them, but that's what Airfix did. That's it. Innuendo, yeah. I always thought innuendo was a Spanish bullfighter. Ole! Quack! I don't know what those are. They're very finely moulded. I mean, that's the thing. You know, Airfix did this stuff. This was before CAD, right? Before computer-aided design. Their models were casts of models. Somebody actually sat there and chiseled all this, probably out of wood and metal and everything, and actually made a real model. And then Airfix created their mouldings from that and worked out how to break it all down. And then, you know, they spit one out and see if it assembled. And they did. These days, they just put it all on a computer and then email it to the Indian guys. Hello. Yes. What you're sending me? This is a new Spitfire. That's German, actually. But hello. What are you sending? The new Spitfire. It's very, very good. Thank you. I will stick that in the machine and print it. And no offense to any Indians out there. You're lovely guys. I love your food. I really do. Bit flashy here. That need to out. But these always do. These, because they're really fine, so they actually go to a fine feathered edge. And well, they're supposed to. Oh, actually, that's the join. Oh, it'll clean up like 2 seconds. You won't worry about that. These are for putting. This is the prop shafts, right? And they include the vanes and everything out the back. So it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. You expect it to. You know, it's an Airfix kit. If you didn't get any flash, you wouldn't be happy. And again, you've got various bulkheads and things like that. Look at the davits, right? Now they could do it. They're tiny little davits, right? Therefore, well, actually, they're cranes probably. But we'd really love to see some kits made in Blighty, pressed in Blighty, using good old Blighty plastic, and us old people would be happy. So there's, you know, a few little bits here. All the rest. Yeah, a little bit of cleaning up, but it's not too bad. I've seen far worse on the trumpeter kit. I'll tell you. Okay, so the fit was terrific, as I showed. Oh, probably helps if you get them around the same way, Harry. The fit is very delicate, and it's there's no warp. Oh, there you go. And I think I just put a rubber band on it last time. Okay, so that tiny little gap there, that'll seal up with rubber band. Easy as that. There's nothing to it. There's virtually no warpage at all. So, oh look, I didn't show that side. There's your final bit of the instructions. Okay, and nice painting guide. And you know, they tell you the colours. It's all very clear. And the guy that was going on about the green thing, well, I think it's there. I don't know what he's on about. There's green. Anyhow, so with the deck installation, well, that's right. You start with these sort of these pieces, which is rather weird. Airfix usually you build in number order. Okay, so 1, 2, put the halves together, right? 3, put in the front piece. Okay, so we'll do that. So that's it. You follow the number order. It rarely jumps around. Like you build it in the order that of the part numbers, and if you do that, you're pretty well away. Okay, so part 5 is the next big round biggie one. I must have cut out. Is it that one? Probably. So that one. Talk about yourselves. Yeah, I think what I did was I didn't worry about that one because this one goes in over the top. Yeah, so you don't really need to worry about that. That one actually is the deck under there. So for the purpose of dry fit, you don't need it. And that's why I didn't have it before. But we're doing it this way. 5. So now we go to part 6, 7, 8 are all those rear decks. With the numbers on the parts, actually really helps you. Because there you go. I know that's part 6. So I'm hunting around everywhere for part 6. And here it is in my hot little hand. So that's somewhere there like that. There we go. That's that one, I think. That's only holding together with 2 rubber bands. And as you can see, the parts are sitting there. The worst part is this deck here, right, actually almost sits on top. I don't think it actually falls down inside as you'd expect, right? Normally your deck would go in, you have a little bit of a gun along there, right? This part actually sits flush on there, which is a bugger to try fit, right? So because it sits flush, so you'll have to watch that when you're building it. But all the other little decks at the back here, they do fit in nicely when you're not under pressure of cameras and everything. They do fit in nicely, and it'll build up. It will build up beautifully. So that's the best I can do. Yes, it's not very good, I know, but you get an idea. It will fit beautifully. I mean, those are the parts. I cut them out. Minimal cleanup. I spent like 5 minutes getting the parts out, and it does fit really nicely. Okay, so a bit annoying. There might be. Oh, look, there are little edge formers there. So actually, you could, with a rubber band, you could get that to sit. Let's try that, Harry. Put a rubber band on there. Don't say bad things about your beloved Airfix. So, yeah, there we go. It does fit. But it fits in a weird way. Normally, as I say, you expect the deck to drop down inside, sit on a ledge and push against a gunnel. This deck doesn't. Right? This deck actually sits. It sits flush on top, which is kind of crazy. But that's how they did it. So, yeah, and actually I think it sits a bit further back. Yeah, that could be the problem. It sits like that. Yeah, that's how it goes. It sits like that, something like that. And then you've got 4 superstructure pieces that go in here, and you build up the whole, all the superstructure here you build for the bridge and all that sort of thing. But it does fit together, which is pretty good. After 50 years, you can pull something out of a box. It's not warped, it's not wrecked, it's not even flashy and horrible. It actually fits together. And this is one of the reasons I love Airfix. It's just, you know, the joy of them and the simplicity of them, really. So, you know, you talk about shake and bake. Tammy, well, Airfix kits from my day, they were easy to build. They were a joy to build. Everything fit. It was nice. There might be a little bit of flash to clean off, a little bit of fettling on a joint, but generally that was part of the thing. That was the modelling. So that all goes together, and yeah, you build up your superstructure, and there's your, I think that's just a mast thing. There's a funnel. Look, fun with funnels. There it is. And then they give you little diagrams like this, you know, how to get your davit in, how to put your boat, you know, insert here, up there, and as I said, yeah, those are the only parts that found with flash. A little bit of flash on the prop screws, and a little bit of flash there on the prop shafts and their mating vanes, but that's about it. So that is the Airfix 1600 Queen Elizabeth II. People have been releasing the photo etch and the wood decks for just about all the old Airfix 1600 ships. I mean, I got it for my Warspite, right? There is complete photo etch set doing the cranes and the railings and everything. I bought the wood deck. You can get that, and I bought some generic railings because 1600 railings were really hard to find for many years. Nobody catered for it. But there's been this resurgence in finding the old Airfix classic kits because they are good. And the nostalgia of, you know, being basically a baby boomer and going, gee, the new stuff's soft and it's a bit horrible and you can't get too many ships. So hunting out the kits. Trouble is the collectors then have come in and gone, oh, look, market. These baby boomers, they're cashed up. They're all looking for these things. Brr. So a $20 kit suddenly becomes a $200 kit because the collectors are hanging on to them. Yeah, just how it is. All right, guys. Well, that is my brief look and a sort of a bit of a fumbly dry fit, but you get the idea. It's a good size ship. It's lovely. A couple of foot long. Can't go wrong with that. It'll be really nice. All right, guys. Well, that's it. And you know, if you like my video, please hit that like. It really helps the algorithm. And comment by all means. You know, just be respectful. And if you really like what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel. And you can join Patreon and YouTube, and you get to see these sort of things live with all the bloopers in, yeah, and all the rest of it. And of course, if you really like what I'm doing, you can hit the super thanks. That super thanks really works. All right, well that's it. That's all I got to say. So it's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini.